Morning, everybody. I did a quick video this morning. I got some weird stuff going on. If you don't know how that system works with the YouTube and videos and everything, it's all about views and likes, and all that stuff, right? Well, here in my world, things are getting a little weird. Really weird, man. Really weird. Because let's do this. Because this happened yesterday. Let me share screen. And you'll see how crazy it is. Is this the one I wanted? No. Is this the one I wanted? Yeah. There we go. My video the other day, 679 views. Look at all the rest of my videos. What's the max? 60, 70 views. 70 something views, 30, 40. And then all of a sudden, bam, 679 views. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's weird stuff, man. Weird stuff. I don't know what to say. Is that evidence of my shadow ban being lifted? I don't know, man. That's crazy. Now, when Alan and early on did videos, we got a couple. Or, within 24 hours, we had close to 1,000 views. Hang on. Be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Sorry, I had to get my coffee. So yeah, that's weird. Really weird. Excuse me. A little snotty this morning. 7, what are you doing? Don't start it. But hang on. So the other day, my good friend Al sends me an email, and it's the stuff about, I don't even like to say his name, that dude in Canada that made all the crazy videos. Well, I had never seen what he said about me. So she sent me the clip, the parts of it. And wow, boy, some people are really, really ill. They're seriously ill. And it made me so sad is that the guy watching my video isn't even listening to what I'm saying. That's the funny part. He's not even listening. He starts making up all his own shit. He's not even paying attention. So that was weird. That came up the other day. And then now all of a sudden, I have 679 views. Oh man, I got magnets. I got magnets all over the place, and they're sticking to everything. This is my man. This dude right here, this sucker's powerful. I got those. Got this little stack of The magnets. Oh, is my experiment still on? Oh, that is so cool, man. That is so cool. I got a magnet over there and a stack of other magnets where I did this experiment, and it's still sitting there doing it. Where I laid a round magnet down on my countertop, and I laid it down flat like this, and I started pushing another one at it with the opposite poles, right? And this one started to stand up. As I pushed at it, it started to stand up because it wants to flip over, right? It wants to do that. Well, I stopped it just as it's sitting there, and it's lifted off the ground, off the countertop like that. And I stopped it right there, and it's still sitting there on the countertop, halfway lifted like this. Hasn't moved an inch, hadn't moved a millimeter. That's pretty crazy. I tell Alan like that, I said, oh, dude, don't touch it, man. Watch out. There's my magnet experiment. I hadn't put the link in the chat yet. I guess I could. Wouldn't hurt. But yeah, man, look at all those views. 467, 79. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I just, like I said, I wonder if that's a sign of my shadow banning is lifted. I don't know, man. We'll see with this video. What I think happened was Alan streamed some of mine on his show. And the people that came through, I don't know if it works that way. If he's streaming me and people come on and watch him, do I get those views or does he get those views? And I get his one view. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. And I'm not going to worry too much about it. But I thought that was weird, man. I can't get 600 views. I won't get 600 views at my funeral, let alone on YouTube. Oh, sad day in the number one seed grow project. Sad day. 5 of my 8 plants I had coming in so far are males. So I get rid of them. But the good news, my one plant that I've been taking my clones from, the number one seed, I turned it on to flower, and it looks like, give it one more day, it looks like it's female. It's gonna be good. But the other ones, these are crazy. You do all that work, man, and then just within 24 hours, boom, it's all changed. I'm still gonna let them grow. I'm gonna grow them and use extract. I'll take them and extract their oils and such from them. But wow, man, it's a lot of work. Come up with males. I'm just texting myself. Yeah, the house this next 3 days, Kathy left yesterday. It's in Houston for 3 days, doing a big conference still. And Yeah, I won't see her till Thursday. What am I gonna discuss? I don't know what I want to discuss, man. The you know, the world of, I don't know, what do you call it? Conspiracy, truther, uh, just trying to hang on group, just trying to be myself. They said, go this way, it'll all be good. We're going that way, and it's still good. I don't know what to tell you. But what is going on here, man? What is going on? It's just, let me see. I was watching a deal yesterday, and I knew back then, probably 3-4 years ago, that I ran into Frequency and Royal Rife and all that. And I started understanding about Frequency and more. Watched Wits It last night. Wits It Gets It. And there's a study that a guy did. I want to say, I think it's back in the 1820s, 30s, something like that. I want to say I think it was that long ago. I slept last night. But the premise of the experiment was a guy saying, does your soul have mass? Does it have substance? Is it there? And so he goes to weighing people at the time of death. That right now you're alive and you weigh 150 pounds and you die within minutes. You lose. He said the average, you lose 21 grams. So he's saying our soul weighs 21 grams about, when put in, when strung together and weighed out. I thought that was pretty crazy. Are you trying to get back in here, dog? No, that's pretty nuts, man. What's that dog whining about? I thought that was pretty crazy. But I mean, I always, we are frequency, right? And our, the Holy Spirit, the ether, everything is frequency. And so frequency has an electrical charge, and anything that has presence, mass, that exists has some weight. And we know our souls exist, don't we? I do. Why wouldn't it? It's your spirit. It's made up of ether and frequency and God. I mean, so we go through life. I've said it a bunch before. I remember as a kid growing up, and everything in the 60s and 70s was vibrations, man. Remember? I guess, what was it? 1979, 1980. The Beach Boys come out with Good Vibrations. Good Vibrations for my generation. They'd already done their thing 60s and 70s. Now we're coming up with Good Vibrations and all that stuff. See, when I was, 14, 15 years old at the time, bam, they were bringing out nostalgia again for those adults. You look on TV and it was things like Shawn Na Show, or, singer, a music show from the 50s, 60s, right? And they're bringing our parents their nostalgia, and now they're bringing us our nostalgia, and it's just a cycle the way they've done it. They keep us so programmed And I think Alan did a deal a little bit, and I watched some of it too, where the whole story that they give us about anything. I don't care what it is. You pick the widget, nuclear fusion, air, flight. It doesn't matter. The stories they give us stink. They all stink. Then you start parsing these stories out, and you start putting in their timelines, and you start putting in their info. Almost all of them have huge anomalies in them. Almost all of them have something that you go, what? I was watching one the other day. What was it? We were talking about a historical figure, and that he used a method. Well, they point out that in another story about somebody else, that this whole method wasn't even available, wasn't used, wasn't known about for another like almost 100 years before this guy's already being said to have done this. And it's like, wait a minute, what? How do you do that? How do you do that? And like I told Alan before, I don't know how many times I've run across the one guy, and they go, oh, in his time, and he's got a list of his expertise that won't quit. He's the go-to guy, man. He's the one. But how did he get to be the go-to guy when you tell us that this dude just was a humble guy, lived here, in this town, got a little education, and now boom, he knows everything, and everybody else is just full of it. They don't know nothing. It just look throughout our history. I mean, almost every era that they kind of parse together has these people in there, and it's unexplainable by them when you press them on it. And then the question that I keep having is, really, all of our ancestors, going all the way back in your family tree, my family tree, every one of them, didn't really notice or care about things going on around them. Things they did learn, they were like, okay, thanks, I'll learn that. And then they moved on. And then just forgot. People just forgot. They forgot how to build. They forgot how to plumb. They forgot how to grow. They forgot how to use water. They forgot how to build aqueducts. They forgot everything. Bam, across the board. Hard to believe, is it not? That's just so hard to believe, man. That is so hard to believe. I mean, gosh, when I went back into air conditioning and heating with my dad for a couple of years, I hadn't done air conditioning and heating since I was a teenager, 17, 18 years old. Well, after I left home, I did it for about a year in Lubbock for a guy, 6 months to a year. And that's when I finally got into school and didn't have to do that work anymore. But, doing that, it's just, what do you do? I learned it. I mean, I'd learned it. When you learn something, you learn it, right? When you know something, you know something. So when I got back into air conditioning 15 years later, almost 12 years later, I picked it right back up. All I needed was just a little brush up here. These are new air conditioners from what I'd worked on before. Things had changed. So I learned. I just added to what I already knew, right? So, but we couldn't do that over history, it looks like. It looks like we got to a point where all of a sudden people were just like, what is that? Oh, that's water, man. All you have to do is turn this till water comes. And I'm like, how's that work? That's nice, but how's that work? I don't know, man. I don't have any idea. I don't have any idea. You know what I'm saying? The antiquitech on everything. At some point, somebody remembered We have free electricity to everything. Lights were on. We don't have to do this coal oil or anything. What are y'all doing? Guys, right? I mean, you gotta hope. You gotta think at some point. Somebody was calling bullshit, and why are we doing this? We had it so much better. Just break out the tools. What y'all do with them? Where is everything? And that doesn't seem to be the case. That doesn't seem to be the case at all. Which my video the other day, I got 679 views. It's just as much a mystery to me as those things. Because how does my video get 679 views in like 24 or 48 hours? Or I guess it's a little more than that. But, how does that happen when my max is 70, 80 views? And I know I don't have a big audience. I gained 5 subscribers. That was crazy. Okay. I appreciate it. You knew 5 people. You know who you are if you ever watch me again. I'm not high-end entertainment. I'm not high-end intellect. I'm not high-end anything. I'm just a dude that sometimes just wants to get on here and talk. Sometimes it's bullshit. Sometimes it may have a little substance. I don't guarantee you nothing. My magnet group, my magnet set is, I got this little round one here. This dude is my most powerful. I got this out of, the magnetic camera bases that you can mount, and then just boom, your camera magnetically holds up there. This came out of one of those. These are strong. And then I have a set where I have these 2 dudes, and where did I put my other ones? I've got a whole stack of these little guys. I want to make an array like LaPointe did. I got a cup here. This makes your ice bowls, right, for drinks. Has a rubber, and it'll make you round ice cubes. Well, I think I'm gonna take this and modify it a little bit and take my little round magnets like LaPointe did, and I'm gonna start working on myself a crazy experiment. But my experiment over there on the bar, I don't want to touch it, man. I don't want to touch it. Let me see if this will read. I think I can get this camera over there close enough so we can see. I mean, to some people, this may not be much, but I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty darn cool. Can you see these magnets sitting there? And see how that one is propped up? I've got this whole line of big square magnets and some round ones. And I just pushed it to it slowly. And it started to lift, and I stopped. And that's been there about 24. No, it's not 24 hours yet. I did it yesterday afternoon. But I thought that was cool, man. And it took me 3 or 4 tries. The first time I did it, it stood right up, man. It was so cool. It did it right away. And I was like, oh, yeah, sweet. And I moved it too much, and bam, it caught it. And then it took me about 5 more tries to do it. And I finally got it to where just perfect balance right there. And I'm trying in my mind to figure out like I told Alan, that almost to me represents our toroidal fields on the flat plane, and that's what makes our firmament, that magnetic field. Boom, the magnetic fields keep the dome up, and that looks like as good a mini explanation as possible. Yeah, I've seen several of those experiments where you have to glue some magnets down and stuff, but I want to make a track where you can hover, go back and forth, maybe do a circle or go round and round. But these square magnets, sorry, Alan bought the other day, comes in and I think he got them at the dollar store. I think it was $2 for a pack of these. I got you some magnets. Thanks. My other magnets, my big square ones over there, I got those when we moved in this house. The doors, these doors are metal doors, and the people left curtains hanging, and the curtain rods were magnetic. They stuck to the door. Little curtain rods about that long. Each end had magnets. Boom. So I cracked those out of there, took those out. Those are good magnets. They're real good magnets. But like that magnet Kenny has, that big dude, man, those things are dangerous and expensive. I want to get one of his cell deals so you can see your toroidal fields on your maps. Morning. You're inside out and backwards.
I know. I just put it on to come in something. The door was open to Mom's bedroom. Seven was just sitting there while I'm crying because it wasn't open enough.
Oh my God. I wondered what she was crying about. Yeah, the magnets is fun. The magnets and the ether and the Holy Spirit and all that are just amazing. Just amazing. There's no good explanations out there from anybody. You look, you get Tesla stuff, and his goes to a point and bam, stops. All of them to a point, and then they go, oh yeah, he was great, but he was great, but, and you never get the big picture, the full picture, and that's not fair.
I thought she was in here.
I knew she was in there. I just didn't know what she was yipping at.
And I thought she was in here yipping to get over.
No, I came and looked. She wasn't there. All right. See you later. But, we never get the whole picture. We never get the whole story. We never get all the information, and that's frustrating. You're trying to figure things out, and you can't get straight answers, no matter where you look. Hard. And Alan, we were looking at that deal yesterday about TV and radio, and I mean, isn't that weird, everybody, that how all of a sudden, boom, there's radio, and once radio hit, what happened? What'd they do? They mobilized a war. They could mass communicate now, and they mobilized a war, and they used that war to release the technology and to the world, let people know we have it, and then they used it from that minute on, where they were always using it against us, right? There's a weapon against us, but we were so cool. It was so cool. We were like, turn that sucker on, man. Let's hear what they're telling us. Yeah, the mechanism of the magnetic field and that was another thing when I did that little deal over there. I thought, oh yeah, I know it. I know for sure. Somehow in the past, they were able to use magnets, frequency, electricity, static electricity to lift heavy objects easily like that, right? I'm sure they had a mechanism where that was no big deal. And I bet you, I know it had to do with frequency. It had to do with frequency and magnets. They knew how to use it. And I've always claimed that it was Solomon that had all of that knowledge. Yeah, Solomon's smartest ever. I think Solomon deployed that technology to build all the things that they did. Because I mean that was a construction company like no other, right? I mean Solomon was knocking them out, you know, Kit Towns and whatever, Starfort. There was a pamphlet. They even had a pamphlet. They were so much more advanced than us. I just, they tell us this story of the struggle and how hard it was for them. I don't know, man. I don't know. If every day is survival and you wake up every day and you got to get your meal today, you got to get water today, you got to secure your own shelter, right? That's your daily life. It's kind of hard to believe you're building these temples. Kind of hard to believe you're building star forts, man. You people, y'all got it rough. That's hard to believe. Just so hard to believe. It's such a disservice because I've always contended that what if? Now we know it couldn't happen because we're in the end times of the devil loose. This is the short season, but, and maybe another go around. But what if you used all this technology for good? Use frequency to heal. Use the technology of magnetism and frequency and free electricity, free communication. Just all of it. All of our food left perfectly natural. All of our all of our abilities from birth, nourished and taken care of and encouraged. Not dumbing down, not teaching us to regurgitate predetermined answers and dates and stuff. And you're called smart once you can regurgitate the most. Whoever regurgitates the most propaganda, man, wins. You're the smartest. Are you the smartest because you got the most answers right on their test? I said before, man, thank God I did not do well in high school, elementary, junior high, high school. I was never left behind, but by gosh, I was close a few times. And it was weird. My brother made straight A's, bam, never a problem. And I did not. And as I came up, all those teachers that my brother had before that, okay, got another smart kid here. Well, yeah, you had a smart kid. He just wasn't going to do y'all stuff. And just not smart at that. He didn't really care about that stuff. It seemed dumb. Don't know why I need to be able to diagram a sentence. I do not understand why I need to learn about the propaganda meal that is our government. Well, I need to know about it, but what they teach you, they talk you need a civics class. Well, they're just going to teach you how to work their system. They're going to teach you truth. They're going to teach you, the right way it should be done. They're going to teach you their way. And you don't know any different. People come out the other side going, there's the truth. I don't think so. Truth. It's almost getting to be, like like they say, you use a word enough and it loses its meaning. And these days, how do you find truth? Yeah, I mean, just because you can memorize doesn't mean you're smart. And like old Fat Kenny says, the tattooed monkey. He says, "What you're giving me is a description. You're not explaining it. There's a difference in being able to describe things. That's one thing, but then to be able to what did I just say? What's the word? To be able to understand it and or what is it? It's describing things is one thing, but just a description. I forget how it's said, but it makes sense that if I can completely describe something to you how it works, that's one thing. But if I can just give you the definition, that's just the definition. That doesn't explain anything. How it works, the mechanism of it. But man, I'm starting to understand more and more, the mechanisms of nature. Growing my stuff, watching the process. I'm doing 3 or 4 different experiments on gardening and trying to see what's most efficient. I've got some plants in little containers that about half of a 1-gallon water jug, and then I got some in little bigger pots, and I got some in 5-gallon buckets, and I got some in the ground. I got some in raised beds. So we're going to figure out what's the best way, what's the most efficient way, water wise, area, amount of dirt, all those things, amount of water. My 5-gallon bucket. Tomatoes are needing about 3 gallons of water a day, where my other tomatoes that are in raised beds with access to the ground below, they don't need a gallon a day. They're doing great. So there's a lot to be said for that right there. That's one thing that's boom, it's popped out glaring. Now that they're really growing. Those in that bucket need boom, lots of water every day. Ones in the ground, nope. Don't need it. Don't need it as much. Plus space wise. How much can you grow in the smallest space? That's on the agenda too. Because I don't want to have wasted space. I want to have wasted food. I don't want to have wasted water. I'm trying to be efficient. I have a well, so I'm lucky in that way. But you still got to be on top of it if you're going to be efficient. And I think going forward with the way they're doing all our supplies, you better be efficient with what you got, or you may find yourself wanting. We got our old freezer out. Had a box freezer, hadn't been using it. Got it out, starting to store up extra food. Bought a vacuum seal machine, gonna start vacuum sealing. My wife even the other day suggested getting a dehydrator. Yeah, she's starting to feel it. She's seeing it out there. She's seeing it in the hospital supply chains. Things they use becoming scarce on a daily basis. No reason for it. No reason at all for it. But still exist. And boy, have things changed on the nursing front in the last year. For a year, every nurse, they needed nurses. Every one of them wanted money like they were a contract traveler nurse. Everybody wanted these big numbers. Now that it's all settled down and these contracts are done, these nurses are looking for work everywhere, and they can't find it because the crisis is over. So my wife, she jumped on it early, and she started right off the bat doing These people like working these contracts. You want to work a 13-week contract? Okay, here's what we'll do for you. We'll do 13-week contract. Here's the wage. You know, you get guaranteed 36 hours. 13 weeks is up. You want to do it again? Okay, you can do it twice. After that, you have the option to sign on permanent or move on. And so she's doing her own little contract system right there in her own house. And people are going, I'll take it. I'll take it. There's no work out there. You know, she had several nurses quit her a year and a half ago to go travel. Now they're calling up going, hey, you got anything? You got anything? So, yeah, she's in Houston right now at a nursing conference. They've got their booth set up, and I think her and one of her assistants is doing a little 20-minute seminar deal. And so, yeah, she's over there for 3 days. So I'm batching it here at home. Me and Alex, and the dogs. Oh, my daughter and son-in-law are getting a house in Arkansas. They've been living in an apartment. And our German Shepherd, Ruger, is their dog. We've had him for almost 3 years when they moved into their apartment. And so they're getting a house. And Ruger will only be with us about another 5 weeks. And he's going home to his family. And so Alan's going to be upset. He's going to be very upset. If you're watching, Alan, I know you're going to be upset. When Ruger goes, we all are. So we're going to go. Alan to know after Ruger's gone, we're going to go find Alan a new dog and find one that'll fit in with the pack. Go to the shelter, look around the country, or look around Texas here at these shelters. There's lots of them. Kathy sent me a dog of a blue heeler at a shelter back around West Texas where we're from that I wanted so bad. I miss my Nashville. I miss Nashville. He was a good dog. We are dog people, if anybody here didn't know. Yeah, take care. Take care. Have a good day. Yeah, I'm fixing to wrap it up. Anywho, if you're one of the 679 people that watched my last video, I appreciate it. That was quite the analytics jump I got. Alan, I went and looked at my analytics. Bang, straight up the page. There's a big happening over here. Tell me from Texas channel. All right, guys. Everybody knows the rules. Good discernment, good vibrations. I love you all. Take care.